I'm not a huge museum guy, but this is the one must-stop museum that I had to do. This museum is the National Museum of Anthropology. It's in downtown Mexico City. It is the largest and most visited. Millions of visitors a year come to this place. It's the largest collection of artifacts from the Mayans, the Aztecs, all over Mexico's history. So I'm pretty excited about this. Why don't you come along with us?
So tickets to get in were 90 pesos a person, and right at the desk right next to it, they have offer free Wi-Fi, so make sure you hook up to that.
And then right next to that is an app where you get all the information at all the halls you're in.
However, it didn't work for us, so we're gonna free fall it.
Paraguay. As soon as you walk into the hallway area, this is pretty cool. First thing you see. So this was uncovered in Mexico in 1954. It's just amazing stuff from all over the world.
Oh my gosh, guys, look at this replica of Teotihuacan. We went to visit Teotihuacan and we got to see up until this big pyramid right there. What we did miss was all this other stuff after it. If you go to Teotihuacan, try and make sure that you get to see the entire site, as it is pretty incredible. The Museum of Anthropology, definitely a must-stop.
There's hundreds of thousands of artifacts here, different cultures, different states, different times throughout history in Mexico. Right now we're currently in the Mayan Hall, but holy crap, this is something.
Something to see for sure. Put it on your bucket list. You're going to want to stop here.
The most important piece in the National Museum of Anthropology is by far the Aztec Sunstone, or calendar stone. It depicts the 5 consecutive worlds of the sun from Aztec mythology. So it's not actually a calendar, it's more of a sundial. But the first one started in 1427 AD, thereby legitimizing the rule of Ixchel, who took power in that year and created a bond between the divine and mankind. It was discovered in 1790 in the Central Plaza of Mexico City and now resides there in the Anthropology Museum. It was in the architectural complex of the Templo Mayor. It measures 3.5 meters in diameter, 98 centimeters thick, and weighs 25 tons. The stone originally would have been laid flat on the ground and possibly anointed with blood sacrifices. When it was discovered, the stone was lying flat and upside down. Perhaps as kind of a kick in the pants from the people who defeated them, and perhaps in an attempt to prevent the final cataclysm, the fall of the 5th and final sun, as the Aztec world would fall apart following the attack from the old world. I just want to say, if you are in Mexico City and you do not come to the National Anthropology Museum, you are doing Mexico's history, and most importantly yourself, a huge disservice. This place was crazy cool. I think I already said those words, but it is.
Probably should be one of your first stops, your first days, so that when you go to visit some of the other areas, you understand what you're seeing. Today, we are taking a tour of the Basilica. Holy smokes, this place is huge and it's fabulous.
Basilica of Guadalupe. Let me just start this in a nutshell real quick before we get into the video. So, long time ago, 1500s, a dude named Juan Diego was a messenger on donkey, and he was going up this mountain, and the Queen Virgin Mary came to him and said, hey, go talk to the bishop. I want you to build us a shrine. So he said, okay. So he went and talked to the bishop, and the bishop's like, yeah, it doesn't sound right.
Yeah, they're
so
crazy.
So he's like, hey, I passed on the message, did my thing. Next day, Juan Diego heading to work again. She said, hey, runs in the same, he's seen her 4 times. She says, hey, what did he say? And he goes, he didn't really believe me. So she goes, well, you need to convince him. The second day he goes to see the bishop and says, hey, she talked to me again. And the bishop says, yeah, look, I'd love to believe you, but I'd need some sign. So he goes back. Mary says, hey, you know, what did he say? And he says, I believe you, but we need a sign. So she says, tomorrow come back and you will find a sign.
Tomorrow, walk up the hill.
Yeah, at the very top of the hill, they found these Castilla flower roses, which do not grow in Mexico. They only grow in a spot in Spain.
And it's December.
Yeah, so nothing's growing. It's wintertime. So he walks up the hill, and sure enough, there's this field of flowers. He has his gunny sack with him, this sack they used to carry things with.
Call it a blanket for,
And he would carry the fruits and stuff with it. So he picks all these flowers, puts them in his sack, walks down to the bishop, because he has this proof, and the bishop makes him wait all day. He finally gets in there. When he opens it up, the flowers fall out, and on the sack was a picture.
An image of the Virgin Mary. It's kind of a crazy story, but the fact that he thought they were going to be shocked by the flowers, and he drops these flowers out, and instead they see this image on this sack. Yeah,
and so that is the painting or the impression of Guadalupe, and so they, all right, well that seems legit enough. So now they built this shrine up here, and we'll talk a little bit more as we go on. But that's kind of how it started. They quickly outgrew the first cathedral. They built this one. This thing is massive, but Mexico City is sinking up to 20 inches a year. I don't know if you can see the lean on the front of this church, but after a couple hundred years, they realized something's not right. Plus, it's such an honor and pilgrimage for most Catholics to come here that they still ran out of room. So they still use this, but it's going under massive renovations. So in the meantime, they built a brand new basilica. It is stunning. We're going to that next. 10,000 people can fit in there, and this park square area that we're standing in can hold 100,000 people when there's masses. When the Pope came, Easter, Christmas, they have giant screens out here, and they have 100,000 people per service here.
Okay, you guys, so if you see at the very top of the hill up there, that is the first church they built, the first shrine they built. And you have to take these stairs up there. It takes about 20 minutes to get up there, they said, so that's where we're heading.
So this is the original shrine to Guadalupe, built on top of the hill when Juan Diego convinced the bishop about the miracle. And so many pilgrims started coming here that it was quickly outgrown. But it's set on top of a hill overlooking Mexico City, and it is absolutely beautiful up here.
Here they also have some telescopes for you to look out over the city. Hey guys, so just a quick note. We did this on a tour, and our tour bus has like 3 or 4 more stops. So they're only giving us like an hour and 20 minutes. And I really believe you need more time because now we're running to go meet up with our bus.
This is kind of a day trip.
Ooh, careful, don't fall down the stairs.
That's how fast we're trying to get back.
So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up that if you guys can take a longer trip, probably the better idea. Oh my gosh, guys, we made it. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour of Basilica. It is fascinating. I wish we would have had just a little bit more time, but we didn't, so.
That place is amazing. The facts, the sights, I mean, just historically beautiful.
We'll see you next time. Hey, if you like this video, stay tuned for more. We have so much more of Mexico City coming. Like, subscribe, get notified.
Leave your comments. 3 suitcases. We love hearing from you. Thanks, guys.